Good morning, Scorpio. If you want to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. I'm getting ready to do your ink blot, Scorps, inspired by mid-November, but not only held to. So feel free to, binge blots. I'll put links below. There's also not playlists, I apologize, timestamps if you want to fast forward and get right to the reveal. We're here for Scorpio. I'm going to give it a blot. All right, Scorps, let's close the eyes. Release the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. When you're ready, we'll see what our multi-dimensional mirror has to say. Give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, Scorpio. Like a lady. How you doing? Hopefully good. Awesome. There we go. Scorpios, your mid-month ink blot, if you'd like to take a screenshot so you can scry on your own time and terms, as well to receive any insights and inspirations from your psyche and psychic senses and all that kind of good stuff. Scorps, I did something different with you. I actually pulled 3 different oracle cards. We'll look at those in a moment, but I'm going to begin to scry here if you don't mind. Thank you as always for holding space for me to share my insights. Wow, Scorpios. I'm seeing a creative facelift, like this whole thing. It's almost as if coming into the space of, I love me. That's how I'm feeling. I love me. Yes, I can be sharp. Yes, I am light. Yes, I am dark. But instead of holding back this mask of many, I'm going to embrace this manyness about me. That's how it's feeling. I'm embracing this. And when I say mask, it almost feels like a, not ritualistic per se in an odd way. It feels like all pieces of personality are being put together for one beautiful costume that represents the here and now of this lifetime, the moment in the calendar, because I'm seeing some form of calendar, and there's a lot of love that's come in, or is coming in, Scorpios. That's how I'm feeling it. And a lot of light, like light here. I see a big smile with like light dimples. There's an extension right about here. It's almost like I can see your temples in your auric body. They're light. And then same with up in the brow area, right about here, light as well. It's like putting yourself together with grounded love, because there's something sharp about the Scorpio energy. And I don't feel like that's a secret. I feel like that's maybe known amongst the collective energy Scorpio, but it doesn't have to be like a sharp knife is so valuable, can be so appreciative, right? Versus it's almost like I can see a chef, slicing food, whether it's meat or vegetables, with this, and these different knives have like a paring knife to a big butcher knife. And it's like, yes, that chef aims, takes time to sharpen the skills. Where a dull knife would become troublesome. But there's paring knives, like fine tuning this sharpness in the Scorpio energy. Versus willy-nilly, running with scissors. Scorpios are not running with scissors. not away and not towards. There's a cultivating of particular promises to the person, to you, to your collective energy. What are you adding to the Scorpio energy? If it's your sun, moon, rising, midhaven, all that kind of good stuff. And then Scorpios, wandering out beyond that, adding to the collective of your star sign and how does that sign energy interact with the other signs? What is it adding? What is it removing? And even removing can be a positive thing, right? I'm seeing that chef again, and it's slicing very thin slices of, say, meat, or paring vegetables very delicately. That's a skill. So it's removing maybe the fat of the meat, or it's removing the skin of something to create something delicate but delicious. Does that make sense, Scorpio? I feel like removing isn't always a bad thing. And if it's coming into your personality, it's like I'm seeing orange cheeks and eyeshadow with this very grounded forehead, because there's work being done. So maybe there's an actual like facelift or something going on, or you're getting, work done. And it's about, what is that little creature up there? It looks like a little hamster with wings. So you might have recently or in general lost a pet. But it looks smaller, like a gerbil or a hamster, something along that line. It's just something smaller in nature. And it's coming forward to you, not necessarily just in the third eye, but it's in this whole landscape of the forehead. You also just may be getting work done. There's something about presentation, and it's almost like I can see Scorpios like your energy, very grounded and creative and loving, but it's like putting on all the pieces and saying, this is the new me with all parts of old me's. That's how it's feeling. Is that a saw of something? Or like I don't know what it is. I think it's some sort of tool with a jagged saw blade. So I don't know. Is it a seesaw? No, that's ridiculous. Maybe it is. I don't know. But two people, the string really work together. And this feels like different parts: soul and spirit, self and soul, mind and heart, physical brain, higher mind. Do you see what I'm saying? Something is coming together, Scorpios. I see a sacral energy screaming. Okay, give me a moment here. So, and I'm seeing that if I can reflect this out right in here. There we go. Right in there. I'm seeing a face. It's like the hair's being pulled back. This grounding energy. And I'm not saying that in a definitive way. I'm just saying something, someone, person, place, or thing. Pulling your hair back and you're like, ah. Now on the flip side, I could be misinterpreting it or perceiving it as if someone's throwing up and someone's holding your hair back. So there's two rabbit holes of possibilities, and I'm sure there's more. It's just simply the way it stood out to me. But it's almost like if I wander the one rabbit hole, it's like someone's got you at the back of your head, so maybe the physical mind, and it's looking at this love, love of self, love of soul, love of spirit, and saying, look at this, look how beautiful you are as you are. This is what you're nurturing. This is what's being cultivated. This is it. Look at you. Like, there feels like a force. Like, look at it. Look at how great you are. I don't necessarily know that fierce focus is for everybody, but Scorpio, maybe this is what it came to for you. Something happened for you to be able to look at it, look at yourself and say, damn right, yeah, I'm looking at me. And as much as that might have been a very aggressive way to share that, it feels very loving. It feels very loving. It could be in the sacral energy, your vitality. Interesting. Let's flip it to win it here, if I may. Scorpios. What's in the book of Scorp? Oh, I'm seeing the Sphinx, like Egypt's Sphinx, right? But they're like walking about like it was a creature. And I'm seeing the Sphinx as, how do I say, a statue in honor of a creature that did exist. So I don't know if that means anything to anyone or anything. And sorry, I thought the wind was going to open my door. So that's where I'm seeing the Sphinx like walking and talking. Like there's more than one of them. And then, there we go. And here, there's like power in their tails. Like portals. I'm not entirely sure what the Sphinx purpose was, what's presented to people, and what its primitive, and I say primitive just in like a time frame, primitive purpose was. But I feel like maybe somewhere in the tail or under the Sphinx, there's information, and Scorpio might be tuned into it in the astral realm, dream state. Oh, this feels, whew. Okay. I'm seeing this, like this grounding nature. Something is sparked, like an awareness, and in between, a union of sorts between the human and the higher self, or self being the meat suit made of organic dirt and dust, to the overall expression of love that is sharp and it's witty and it's meaningful. I'm seeing pom-poms, like cheerleader stuff, cheering you on for loving what you do. And maybe if you're not in a space of loving what you do, there's a contemplation about that to say, Or if it's not what you do for a living, starting it as a side hustle or a hobby. I feel like a tree has just opened up for me to kind of go through the crevice. And there's some sort of symbol or sigil that, like on a tree, and obviously a symbolic story, it could be the tree of self, the trunk of self, the chakra alignment, and it's like, this is the place. If you're feminine, okay, male or female, male working on the feminine energy, or vice versa, feminine working on the feminine energy, your lady bits, or the energy of lady bits, of fertility, to create a union between the male and the female. And now I'm like seeing all of these grow, like just expansion. At the same time, remember when I was talking about the Sphinx? See these guys coming in, like they call in. They call in. They call in. There's some sort of, okay, bear with me, but let's empathically explore holding linearity in a container, and then let's move outside that box. You know those octopuses, maybe they all do, but I feel like there's a particular kind of octopi that has a really big nose. It might be a specific kind. Anyway, so it's light and it's flying. It's in the air. And it might, I think it's being ridden by something. So it could be somebody in, like a spirit guide or an energy you're working with. Could also be an airplane if you're thinking about traveling. You might be traveling to different places physically and or in your subcon state. I'm also seeing somebody rowing, something with the feet, like leg presses or like the row machine. That's a thing? I think that's a thing. All right. I'm going to start adding on. Let's look at these oracle cards here that I pulled for the Scorps and see what we got here. Beloved, radical acceptance of who you are. Yeah. It's like your whole heart, human and holistic heart. Many masks, the authentic. Sorry about the lighting. One day it will be. It is what it is. It's beautiful. Skybridge, possibility for union. And while that is, oh, we're going over there. Okay. Ooh, actually, we're going to the shaman deck. Wonderful. Beloved, radical acceptance, many masks, the authentic self, and the skybridge for possibility for union. Your whole inkblot is like love of fire of yourself, of the sharpness, of the wit of Scorpio, but harnessing it so that the sharpness, like you're cultivating the skill of the Scorpio energy. So you're not like serial killer style and like, oh, what's your sign? I'm a Scorpio. Oh, awesome. You're like, no, I'm in the positive element of Scorpio because I am like a divine 5-star chef, 7-star chef. I am cultivating my collective culinary skills. And that means with all that light we were talking about, you're pulling in different parts of that, right? Pulling in different parts of what maybe was dull, and you're sharpening it and seeing it as valuable and bringing together through the bridge. Like there's all that grounding nature and then the illumination at the top, all that white. And it's like all those personalities come together as one. Oh, that felt rough. It's all right. It's all right. There we go. Possibility for union between the human mind and the higher mind, as well Scorpios for the male and female energies. I feel like this is a big deal. Whatever you're going through, this is a big deal. Ancestor of protection. Somebody's getting their stripes, like you're moving on up. It's also bringing me back to the talking, walking sphinxes. Hunter of paths. Brings me back to the, okay, Hunter of abundance is there as well. And on the bottom, Hunter of conflict. Any sort of internal conflicts are being cleared, but you're doing this work. You're doing it. You're creating calm. You're creating calm. Hunter of paths. When the Hunter of paths came through, there we go. All of these expansiveness, you're just creating new paths like the octopi. An abundance of authenticity. An abundance of authenticity. All right, we're getting ready to close out here for the Scorpio energies. If there's anything else, like, share, subscribe. If I didn't already say, all the links are below to help a gal grow. And as always, my sincerest gratitude for sitting and scrying with me and seeing what steps forward. Sweat Lodge is on the bottom. Feel like this is what you've been through, been going through. This is the background of what has ignited your fire, your acceptance about something, of you. Trickster, Spirit Keeper of the West, and the Thunder Drum. The red fox. The red fox, that symbology may mean something to somebody. You might have even, like, your psyche or something, or maybe somebody said something to you one time and it started like playing tricks on your mind in regards to yourself. Like maybe they did insult you, or there is negative self-talk and tricking yourself into thinking you were something you're not, or a portion of yourself that really wasn't being nurtured before because it's not actually where you're aligned with, but that thought or that seed led you there. And now it's like, hold on a minute, no, I accepted that is a version I could pursue or a trait I could engage with, but I don't want to nurture it. Spirit Keeper of the West, I am looking to go to the new horizons and elevate the Scorpio energy. To be like, when someone hears Scorpio, they're like the culinary chefs of the collective. Like, that's what that makes me feel like. And the thunder drum is the celebration of the beat of this heart. Boom, 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 boom. Your eye is on your heart and bringing together this version of you that you have been cultivating, I feel like over many years, if I may. Many years. And Spirit's been helping you. Yes, Spirit's been helping you. And that's why the way the West was once, and you're not changing that. It's not like changing history. It's not about that. It's about making history in the Scorpio energy, and however that relates to your life. Making history. No, I'm not going to focus on changing history. Closing out messages for Scorpio energy. Mid-November. Thank you. Against the grain. You might have been working against the grain at some point in time. And this really resonates in regards to, if I look to change history, I'm going against the grain. But if I make history, I am the grain. Does that make sense? Oh, it's beautiful. Pisces also might be around you. Piscean energy, or a Pisces in particular. Thank you, Scorpios, for joining me as you have come into a whole lot of love and abundance for whatever you are deciding. As you put yourself together, all the different pieces, and no longer working against yourself. And we were talking about that too, right? With the trickster and the red fox. If somebody, or even the self, seeded something, no more against the grain. No more against the grain. Scorpio energies are on it. And I almost want to say, look out. Because this, say, student of culinary arts, or a student of slicing and dicing with these sharp scorpion-like energies, they just elevated. They got their stripes, and in a really good way. They are professionals now, standing in the space of their self, soul, and spirit. And that it feels profound. It's such an honor to have observed this story. So thank you very much, and until next time. Bye.